Actually, that brings up, and I'll wrap up this segment
go ahead.
of thought with my other reaction to way back in our previous episode. This is a reactionary episode. That's a joke. We're reacting to ourselves. Yeah. In Cosmos, Carl Sagan's, I guess you could call it his magnum opus. The main thing he'll be remembered for. Neil deGrasse Tyson. Like Carl did a series called Cosmos in the 80s, I believe, and then Neil deGrasse Tyson did an updated version of it in the 2010s.
I watched it, and I just want to say,
go ahead. I'm sorry. What did you say?
No, I've seen Cosmos, and Neil deGrasse Tyson, I'm sure he's a genius, and I'm sure he's 10 times better than me, and I'm sure he's even a better man than I am. I hate listening to him talk about religion because he takes one step out of a topic that he's obviously extremely gifted in, that being like physics and the hard sciences, and he starts talking about theology, and he says incredibly incorrect things. And I'm not going to say he's foolish. I just think he's ill-informed, and leave it there, because he says things. He says things that to me are objectively untrue about the Christian faith. And you don't have to adhere to the Christian faith. I just think you should know what other people believe before commenting on it. And that's where I'll say Neil deGrasse Tyson bothers me about this. And so this is a complete pet peeve of mine that we don't need to dwell upon.
And in Cosmos, I distinctly remember there was a section where Sagan, and maybe Neil deGrasse Tyson does this in the new one too, but he runs the math on the probability of us arriving at, 1985 or whatever at the time in cosmic terms. Obviously, from their perspective, it's a nanosecond from 85 to 2025, but he runs the math and comes to exactly the same conclusion that Christian apologists do. Exactly the same conclusion from the actual science.
Yes.
Which is terribly fascinating. He looks at the arithmetical, mathematical, scientific, hard as nails refutation of his worldview straight in the face and says, instead of drawing the obvious conclusion from this, that when you have a probability of life arising by chance that has it's 1 times 10 to so many zeros, the number doesn't, like, there isn't, the atoms and the quarks in the universe aren't this many.
Yes. And I've heard atheists say, well, that just means we haven't discovered the answer yet. And so we need to keep pursuing scientific research in order to get an answer as to how this is possible. And I say, listen, brother, if that's what can get you up in the morning, God bless you. The God you don't believe in, God bless you. I'm being snarky. I'm kidding. But seriously, I wish you well. I hope that's sufficient for you. But don't look at me crazy, because I choose to say, I'll take the odds on there being a God. I'll take a chance. Okay, if it's between there being no God and me being a fool, it doesn't matter anyway.